This is FE Peer Review. The date is December the 27th, 2022. I had a hard time coming up with the title for this video, so I finally settled on Reality is Bitter Medicine for Some. Meet Kyle. He thinks he has debunked 170 plus years of evolutionary biology in just 6 minutes. Kyle first came to my attention a few weeks back when Sir Sick did a video about him. You'll find a link in the description. I was reminded of him today because Simon Dan decided he was worth a look as well. Well, I did have a thing or two to say to Kyle, so I'm going to read a little comment I left him, and then I'm going to use that to talk about something more general. But before we get to that, let's just take a minute to hear a little bit about what Kyle has to say.
Evolution is stupid, and I'm tired of acting like it's not. It's not scientific, and the only reason anyone believes something so ridiculous is because they are indoctrinated from the time they are born, in movies, in TV shows, in school. And all it takes is some basic level questions to debunk this crazy fairy tale.
Okay, Kyle. You use the phrase, quote, you believe, lots of times. But unlike religion, science is not about belief. Now, my main point. It's quite simple, really. I'm giving you the names of 3 of the world's leading evolutionary biologists who are alive today. Feel free to show them your evidence that their work and the work of the last 170 years of evolutionary biologists is all wrong. If you are right, they will acknowledge it. If you are wrong, they will be sure to point out your mistakes. Here are the names: Dr. Nancy A. Moran, Dr. Marcus Feldman, Dr. Richard Lenski. If you'd like to know more about them and their work, so you have a better understanding of how to approach them, you'll find all 3 listed in Wikipedia. From there you can find additional resources. There's no point in arguing about how evolution is wrong with a bunch of people who know little to nothing about it here on YouTube. If your arguments can't stand up in the face of the world's best experts, then it's all just a lot of hot air. If you're serious about what you believe, then you will actually face them. If you're not serious about what you believe, then you won't. This is the Valley of the Whales, the Wadi Al Hitan in Egypt. A wadi, by the way, is a kind of a gully or small valley that from time to time may get flooded with flash floods in the desert. The Wadi Al Hitan is an amazing place. It's an absolute treasure trove of whale fossils and also shark fossils, but we're just going to look at the whale fossils briefly here. There are at least 5 different species that have been found. I believe something like 500 individual specimens. They're all prehistoric, extinct whales that are precursors of the whales of our time. In short, they are evidence of macroevolutionary processes. There's an example for you. A complete skeleton of the Durodon atrox. The following drawings are by Nobu Tamura. Indohyus major. Pakicetus inachus. Ambulocetus natans. What are we looking at here? Cuchicitus minimus. We're looking at evidence. Remingtonocetus harudiniensis. Physical evidence. Rhodocetus casrani. Physical evidence of the evolution of whales over the course of 35 million years, from about 50 million years ago to about 15 million years ago. Durodon atrox. Every one of these creatures we're looking at, we have found their physical remains, fossilized physical remains, and many, many more, as well as others which fall in between. Squalodon calvertensis. So yes, there is physical evidence. We do have the trail. This is just whales we're looking at. The evolution of the whale. We have similar trails of evidence for many other animals too, and plants. Kentriodon pernix. Alophisidae morrisae. So, Kyle, let's see your evidence. Let's see your evidence that all of this work, that all of these thousands of scientists over the last 170 years have done, is wrong. Bragmophisidae shigensis. So no, it's not about belief. We don't believe in this stuff. We have the bones. We have the evidence. Now, you've given us none up to this point, and I suspect you don't have any. You've got no leg to stand on trying to disprove all this stuff. So what is the real purpose of your video? Asciocetus cotylalvius. You're just preaching to the choir, and I have a feeling you know it. You're preaching to the people who already agree with what you have to say. Now, why are you doing that? You're not going to change any minds that way. You've got no evidence. Genesitas hundari. Is it because you need to reaffirm your faith and the delusions your faith is based on? Reaffirmation of faith because your faith is so weak and challenged by reality that the only way you can hold on to it is by railing in your YouTube videos at the world and trying to fight it off as if you've got the proof. You don't have the proof. Cetaceans furlongi. It's a losing battle, Kyle. Reason is going to win out in your mind. Your faith is too weak. And it's too weak because it's based on delusions. Get rid of the delusions. You can keep your faith. You don't need that. You don't need that false foundation. That's my message to Kyle and so many others who think that they have to deny reality in order to hold on to their faith. You know you've already lost when you find yourself doing that. You know that your doubts are too big and too strong and based too much in your own experience of the world. You're full of internal conflict, and you're going to live with the pain of that conflict until you reconcile yourself to reality. Well, that's my cheerful end of the year 2022 message. I think if I can manage it, I'll put one more video out this year. I'm working on the Mercator map, which I mentioned in my previous video. So I do hope you will come back and watch that. I hope you all enjoyed this as well. Give it a thumbs up, a like, and all those other things. And I'll be back with you again soon. Take care, everybody. This is FE Peer Review.